Good morning, beautiful souls of planet Earth. Today I'm going to talk about how to find your soulmate, how to find your true love, that one genuine person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And I want to start off by saying, when I say soulmate, I don't mean, that intimate soulmate, that one happily ever after bullshit story that they tell you in movies and stuff. No, by soulmate I mean it doesn't even have to be a relationship, an intimate relationship. It can be a friendship relationship, when I say soulmate is when you find that, that that one person that you're willing to do whatever for, to do anything for, while it's mutual. It has to be mutual. That's the one key thing that I've learned, is no matter what you feel, if it's not mutual, it's not true. It's not it can't be true in the now if that other person genuinely doesn't feel anything. So first things first is, making sure it's mutual. And when it's mutual, it really plays into, when you meet that person, you're gonna know. Both of you are gonna know. You're gonna feel the connection. You're gonna feel the soul connection that you have before this fucking life has ever started. It's gonna be something you've never felt before. And like I say, it might be intimate or it might be a friendship, and it all plays into, where we're at in our lives, and um, what our path is. Your path might not be the intimate path. You might need to learn a lot of other things before you can actually get to that space. And so just mutuality is a main thing. Mutual unconditional love. No matter what the person does and where they're at in their life, you still have that unconditional love for each other. You know, no matter what, no matter what choices they make, where they're at, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change who they are. You know what I mean? Our path is what makes us who we are, but everyone makes mistakes, especially in the eyes of other people on our path. We're not always going to make our actions and reactions in a way that every single person in our life approves. So everybody's going to have a problem with something we do. But it's all about, finding that mutuality. If one person makes a mistake, it's all about, are both parties, is both sides willing to communicate? Are both sides willing to communicate, to grow from it, to even overcome it together? Because it might be so detrimental that one person says, fuck this, I can't do this. And at that point, I wouldn't say somebody leaving isn't um isn't mutual or isn't a soulmate. You might be purely in love, and you might be in a situation with yourselves as individuals, speaking on both individuals, that you're just not ready. You're not ready for whatever the situation may be, whether it's friends or relationship. You might just be going through so much of your own mental, spiritual, and physical things in this life right now that you're just not ready for it. And I'm a true believer in, things that are meant to last will always return to us. So, if your path is letting something go in the moment and finding out if it's going to come back to you, that's a big thing. And I highly support that, because like I said, that plays into it being mutual. If you both can communicate and come to a point to where that is mutually agreed upon, but rekindling in the future is something that you are both open to, I highly recommend it, because it's probably something that you both need. But um it all plays into the communication, really. If you have to be willing to communicate, you have to be willing to communicate no matter what, whether it's hard, good. It all needs to be communicated, and you need to know where the other one's at 100%, 100% of the time, or else it's, especially if you're in a intimate relationship, or else it is not going to work. If you don't know where the other person's at, and you don't sit down and communicate with them, it's going to be so much harder, and a lot more toxic traits of yours are going to come into play on both sides. Communication is, yes, things may be hard, but if you can communicate your toxic patterns or toxic things that are happening in the relationship together, it is much easier to overcome them. I myself went through a long time of not communicating much on toxic things in my relationship, and it allowed them to fester, and that's never something you want. That is only going to make things harder than if you accept where you're at now and you are able to fully communicate that on where you're at and how you're perceiving their actions, your actions, and lay everything out on the table and come to a mutual understanding and therefore a mutual action to be taken together. You know, so those are some big signs, and I think I said already, but if not, when you meet that person, there's gonna be just that mutual attraction, not only to the physical attraction, but to the mental. You're gonna be so just intrigued and infatuated with their mental and spiritual that it's unfathomable. I personally, you can't even put it into words. It's something you have to feel. And we meet a lot of people in this life, especially in the Western world. We're raised in a way that the physicality is all we see. We're looking for that perfect attraction, even the physicality and what their actions are, how they act. Do they act like what I see as a wife? So you have to look past the physicality. It's how does their mind work? How does their heart work? How are they going about their lives? Are they helping people? Are they helping themselves? Do they even want to? You have to look at all aspects of it. Like I said, we're taught in this Western society mainly the physicality, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. It really is. That's what you see, but everything that's on the inside, that's what you want to know. And something I did and something I highly recommend is becoming friends first, especially if you are considering something like that, a connection like that, turning it into a relationship, an intimate relationship. I highly recommend you become friends first to make sure that you like each other. You want to know what you like and don't like about the person. You want to have an idea of what you're about to get yourself into, and I think becoming friends, if not best friends, with your significant other beforehand is like a golden rule. You're not going to know who and what you're getting yourself into if you don't know this person, and that's actually something I did. I became best friends with my fiance before we even got intimate at all. We each knew that we liked each other, but we were in our own spots and we were working on ourselves in a way that we just weren't fully ready in the beginning. We were feeling it fully out, getting to know each other, and it just manifested into a beautiful thing. But also, like I said, the communication aspect, that's something that dawned on me heavily, is I wasn't good at communicating in any way. I wasn't good at communicating, especially on things I found bad or negative within myself. And that's key. You have to be able to fully open yourself up in all aspects. You have to give yourself fully to that other person, and they need to do the same. It needs to be, even your insecurities can get in the way. I know your insecurities can get in the way, and their insecurities can get in the way. Laugh them off. Talk about your insecurities. That's something I did. I would talk about them as they were happening. I would just bring them up and talk about them. And after a while, that makes it mutual. The communication right there, and that makes it mutual. You're able to communicate on that, and now they know, and you're able to communicate on that. So it's out there. And after a long enough period of time, you're gonna start to overcome those. You're noticing them, you're communicating them. So after a good amount of time of working on them, you're really gonna start to overcome your insecurities in a lot of ways. Whether you realize it or not, it's just something that happens. I myself used to be a very, very insecure person, literally until I met my fiance. Right when we started becoming friends, she was one of the first people to compliment me and to just, in a sense, be nice to me. And complete mutuality, especially in communication, is just, it's so rare to come by. So if you find that one that is willing to open up and communicate with you all the time, I say fucking give it your all and do the same, whether it is intimate or just a friendship. It can blossom into something else or it could not, and it really doesn't matter. My perception is not set on, just because I am in an intimate relationship and I find that as my soulmate, I wouldn't say that for everybody in specific is their soulmate and their destined path. No. Like I said, the soulmate can be from a friendship relationship to an intimate one. It doesn't have to have a label. It's all about seeing the connection, and that's basically what I'm here to say. I'm showing you how to see the connection from my perspective, what I've learned, because I feel I am someone who has been lucky enough to find true love, to find my soulmate, and it's a blessing in this life to be able to go through your path mutually with someone else is a blessing, because we as individuals are so strong and so loving. When you bring two together, yes, it can be harder because it's 2 times the chaos, but it's 2 times the beauty. Everything is beautiful. It's only chaotic when we perceive it that way. Even within the mess and the chaos, there's always something to be learned, and it's only a mess if we perceive it that way. It's a beautiful mess because there's always something to be learned. And that's just mainly my short little video on how to find, your soulmate. I'm sure I will definitely be doing a video on this in the future. I'm going to be doing probably a lot more in-depth videos on what I'm touching on now in the future, when I have better quality, cameras and equipment, and just a little more, I'll say confidence, but mainly confidence on the camera, but more of a way of articulating myself in words and talking, and just be able to get more out fluently for everybody, for everybody to understand without stuttering. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Like this video, subscribe. Feel free to, pass my name around if you like this video. I would love and appreciate it very much. I love you all. Thank you so much.